then we also worry about, well, these are perennials. Is there a problem? I mean, is there a potential that they're going to become a weed problem and farmers won't be able to remove them from the fields? And then, of course, other people have said, well, we're pretty much up against it, Jerry. We really got to push our agricultural productivity up. Do we have time to develop perennials and get them on the landscape in time to save us from certain destruction? So is there time to do this? So on the yield, a lot of the landscapes where we need higher agricultural yields, the yields are not limited by the upper limit, the upper yield of the crop. They're limited by biophysical constraints of the landscape, poor soils, uncertain weather conditions, and so on. But even on the best soils, perennials have a much higher yield potential oftentimes, especially when we consider the below ground potential. But of course, we're interested in the seed yield. But yes, plant breeders can reallocate some of the resources of the above ground material and get more seed yield. It'll have to be ultimately proven, but theoretically it's very possible. The other thing is, in many of these parts of the, for example, sub-Saharan Africa, the average yields of maize are often 1 ton per hectare or less. That's about 10 times less than we get in the United States. So, we don't perennials don't even have to match what we're getting in Iowa on our maize yields. They need to improve the productivity in places like sub-Saharan Africa and improve those biophysical conditions. So yield isn't the only consideration. You have to think about the whole system. Plus, if you're producing grain and animal fodder, then your grain yield doesn't have to be as high as an annual crop because you're essentially getting 2 different yields off of that. And I think that multifunctionality is the key. You need to produce grains, but farmers need other goods, especially in developing countries. They need livestock fodder. You need reduced labor. It's the whole package that you must consider on this yield question. We also need to think about time. Many times